What's the haps? I'm Meroka, and welcome to Spiel. So in a gremlin level, I don't know which tier we're in. I forget what tier we're in. We are not. I know which tier we're in. I forget which gate we're in. We are in. It does not tell me. This is important news. I mean, I will tell you. We're in the Golden Queen gate. That's what we're in. We're in tier 3 Golden Queen. Just a random mix of snowy kind of things, I think. So let's go all snowy. So Kickstarter, obviously Kickstarter's still going. Got 3 weeks to go on that. If you haven't backed us, why not? You should go and do that. There will be a link in the description, and there will be a link in the outro. Please go, click on that, check out our Kickstarter. We've got some new updates on there showing off the swag, and we are just shy of 60%, which is amazing. Which is mainly thanks to one very generous donator, who if I could remember his name, I would thank him now, but one of the rewards is that he will be thanked in a video at some stage anyway, so that'll be coming up at the end of the Kickstarter, if we get funded. And we had better get funded. Come on guys, go fund us. And we've got, if you look in the corner, we've got some science trivia going on in the corner. I had a little bit of a question about the number of moons Earth has. I thought the answer was 3 according to QI. According to Wikipedia the answer is 6, so we're learning things tonight. Arguing over the colour of Mars at this stage, which is apparently beige. I've never heard Mars as described as being beige before, but pretty close I guess. So yeah, go check out our Kickstarter. We've got all the door prizes and rewards and things up there, and you know, I hadn't thought about talking about it, but I probably will now actually, come to think of it. We've mentioned a few times, oh, we're gonna have door prizes. We never quite ever explained what on earth we actually mean by that. I mean, the idea of a door prize is prizes that are just handed out for making the effort to turn up. A few people at random will get some cool loot. And the idea is that some people, but not everyone, gets that. What we mean by that is everybody is going to get something. We're going to make enough loot to go around. If you back us with a ticket, you will get some swag. I can't guarantee it's going to be some amazing swag, but you'll get something. We'll be giving prizes to everybody who comes in. And we're going to be playing a little mini game when you come in. We may come up with more, but right now the basic that I've got in my head is we're going to get a 20-sided die, and you are going to roll for initiative or something. You're going to roll for prizes, and depending on your score, depends on the scale of the prize you get. If you score like 1 to 10, you might get a small prize. We haven't hammered out the finer details, but it's vague ideas. So 1 to 10 get a small prize, like 11 to 15 would get a medium prize, like 16 to 19 would get a larger prize, and if you roll a natural 20, you'll get something really, really sweet. It's kind of the premise I'm working on. We'll sort of see what kind of tiers we can divide loot up into, and hammer out the nitty-gritty when it actually comes down to, you know, getting funded and getting organised and that stuff. But that should give you an idea of what's going on. So yeah, if you roll like 5, you might pick up a keyring or something. If you roll like a 12, you might get some of those pixel art coaster sets we're doing. I don't know how what people think of them, but I really like them, and I'm hoping other people do as well. So that's maybe like a medium prize. Maybe some of those glasses would be a larger prize. I don't know. Well, maybe a bit of artwork. And if you win a large one, I don't know, make you a friggin' huge Nyan Cat or something. That might, yeah, everyone wants a Nyan Cat, right? I'm working on the premise that there is nobody on this planet that would not want a Nyan Cat. I can't imagine why you wouldn't. You'd have to be a very strange person. So that's Kickstarter, go check it out! So, oh, it must be that time again. It's time for Spiral Nights News! Yeah. So, got... Again, not a major announcement, but something to talk about nonetheless, and I'll throw a picture up like a proper news article on the screen here right about now. There is a new screenshot of the battle sprites, which has gone up on the Spiral Knights Facebook page, and it shows off the Spiral Knight's battle sprites in action, as one might imagine it would do. So as we draw ever closer to the launch of the battle sprites in the second half of July, which is less than a month away now, I imagine, as we draw ever closer, I presume they're going to be leaking more screenshots and stuff like that out in dribs and drabs over the course of the next few weeks, just to whet your appetite, and they should be cool. If ever there was a time to do a major content update, that would probably be it. It's been a while since I've done a major news patch, and you know, I think battle sprites are probably going to warrant it. So yeah, expect to see a good long Spiral Spiel special coming out sometime around then. So that's our miniature news bulletin for the day here. On to the main story today. The main story today is Button Mash was in Birmingham on Saturday. This is something that, had I known about beforehand, I might have mentioned last week, but we only got it planned like last Thursday after the Spiel went out. Basically, Rezzed in Birmingham is a UK video game convention for PC and indie gaming, which means it is totally up my street. That is my kind of thing. I only found out about that from an indie dev at PAX, as it happens. Let us head down. Ooh, there's a question. He's asking a question, and I can't see the question for the stripes. Let's carry on so I can get questions. I kind of want to read down and answer the questions, but at the same time then I wouldn't be able to focus on talking to you. Never mind, no Spiral Spiel this week. All I want to do is answer a pop trivia quiz in the guild chat. So I was at PAX, and there were a few UK-based developers around there, and those were always a nice surprise to find. Because yeah, you start talking to people, loads of American accents everywhere, and you talk to a developer, and suddenly it's like, oh, hang on, you're not American like the rest of them. You're British. Nyam Nyam is one of those. Nyam Nyam are currently making an iOS game called TingaMe, which is a sort of... I probably talked about this before, but I'm going to do it again, whatever. It's a pop-up book style sort of point-and-click puzzle game type affair. So it's really simplistic, but the puzzles are nicely challenging, but not too frustrating. Whilst at the same time, it's got a fantastic style going on, the whole pop-up book thing. So you also sort of like turn the pages or pull tabs, and the environment and scenery will change around you and change, and you solve puzzles by doing such things as these. And that's really cool. It's really nice. Nice music, good ambience, good soundtrack. Cool little game. We've got some neat little puzzles in there that Phil, he was like, oh, I'm so proud of these puzzles, and I tried it, and I'm like, yeah, that's actually... Wait, his puzzle, that friggin' stumped me, actually, the one that he was really proud of. It's maybe a little bit too obscure, and the solution is hidden in a place you wouldn't even consider looking for the answer. I really don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, that was good job on that one, Phil. Good job. And yeah, there's a few other devs I wanted to see at Rezzed when I found out about Rezzed, because like it was those guys that tipped me off that it was happening. Like, I talked to them at PAX, and well, they're like, "Well, you've come all the way out to America just to go to a gaming convention? Why don't you go to one of those in the UK?" My reaction was kind of, "Lol, UK gaming conventions? Yeah, right, okay. Like there's any of those?" Like, well, yeah, there are. There's a few of them around. We exhibit at some of them. Have you heard of Rezzed? I'm like, nope, never heard of Rezzed. What's Rezzed? I was like, oh, it's in Birmingham, and it's a UK gaming convention. It's a bit like PAX. Maybe not as big, but a bit like PAX. And I'm like, oh, right, I'll check it out. Never did. About 2 weeks ago at this point, they mentioned on Twitter, does anybody want to volunteer for our booth at PAX? We need a couple of people to fill in the gaps while we're busy doing whatever, taking a break from standing around all day, having a cup of tea, just to not be on the booth all the time, I guess, maybe. I don't think that they were... I don't think they were exhibiting sort of like on any panels or anything, so I'm not sure that was the reason. Either way, they wanted a few people to cover for them, and I was like, yeah, I could do that, but wait, I haven't even checked when Rezzed is, and I don't know when it is or where it is. At that point, it's like, okay, I better check this. So at that point, it turns out Rezzed was in about a week and a half, and I needed to mobilize some manner of getting there and buy a ticket, which involved mobilizing the rest of the Button Mash crew to get them to do that. Because I needed... There's only one of us has a car and can drive, which makes him our designated driver for all things. He is our driving guy, and he is Danny. And so I had to make sure he had access to the car and was free 2 drivers there on the day, to find out who else wanted to go, get tickets sorted for everyone, make sure everyone was good to go. So in the end, it was me, Danny, and Suresh representing Button Mash at Rezzed. We got a good little team together, and it was a lot of fun. It was a good day out. I would have, before we went, I was saying, oh, I really wanted it to be for the weekend, but actually, it's not that big a convention. PAX is a big enough convention to warrant going for 3 days. Rezzed, actually, there was only enough there to see for 1 day, really, if we're honest. I couldn't have justified taking 2 days there. It's probably a good job I did, because that would have been hotel fare and a more expensive ticket, and it just wouldn't have been worth it. I suppose if you wanted to see all the panels, yeah, you might be able to get your money's worth, but... And hopefully in future it'll be bigger, but as of this year, there was only enough stuff to see for to really keep you occupied for 1 day, really. Started at 10, finished at 6. By 5 o'clock we've seen everything we reasonably can see. Let's just wrap it up, shall we, and head back up north where it's nice and cold. So yeah, Nyam Nyam tipped me off to it, and I mainly dragged them down there to meet Nyam Nyam, to be honest. Like I said, there were the devs and things that I wanted to see there. There were quite a few there I actually wanted to check out, but I mostly just wanted to catch up with Jennifer and Phil, actually, which makes it a very expensive trip out just to catch up with them, but hey ho, they don't know about that, and I'm hoping they haven't watched this video. Hey, guys, if you're watching that, I had no ulterior motives about taking you guys to Rezzed, honest. Yeah, so headed straight to them, caught up with Jennifer and Phil. Phil stressed as anything from working long shifts, and I haven't checked to see what this is. This is Beasties, isn't it? Oh lord, it's Chittering Burrows. Yeah, it's Beasties, and I've got no piercing. Fool! Oh well, we're going hard mode today. So yeah, he'd been working late nights, and oh god, it's Undead and Beasties. That's really hard mode. Nuts. I suppose I got my gun, I could use the gun. And apparently they'd managed to lose an iPad the previous day, so they're really stressed out about that. Or if they'd found it again, they'd spend most of the day running around mad going, oh my god, where's the iPad? We've lost an entire iPad, which is quite a thing to lose, actually. But fortunately, it seems that it all seems to have come together in the end, in spite of a lot of stress. And everyone's loving their game, and they're getting a lot of good press, so... Go them, yeah! Cool, they're doing great, and I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. I only wish I owned something on iOS just so I could actually play the game, but they are promising to port it to other things later. Whilst I was chatting to them, I did chat to them about what I'm doing, and Button Mash and all that, sort of catching up a bit. And, oh! Chittering Burrows, it's not... Ah, it's not Beasties, it's these friggin' bugs. I haven't seen these in a while. Hey, bugs. Can you clear out bugs reasonably well with this thing? Maybe you can. Maybe, just maybe you can. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Yeah, that makes pretty short work of them, actually. And Jennifer said, oh my god, that's really cool, you're running your own event. Would there be any way for us to participate in that? Wait, hang on, wait, what? Devs wanting to exhibit at our event? This is supposed to be a party for people to sit and play games and geek out together. Wait, this isn't... Or do you think this is E3 or something? We're not running E3 here. But we'll give that some consideration. If that's something people want to do, that's something we want to be a part of. Basically, my attitude towards doing things is find awesome people to work together, work with, and make awesome things happen. Awesome people working together make awesome things happen, and I like to think we're fairly awesome, and I think Yam Yam are pretty awesome, and they are awesome people I would like to work with. So, well, obviously, we've not nailed anything down or set anything in stone or even agreed anything more than we want to work with you. Yeah, please, I want to work with you. There's nothing more formal than that, so we don't expect anything, but that's something I would really, really like to do, and could be coming in the near future. And not to get anyone's expectations up, but something nice to hint at is that they were not the only dev we talked to at Rezzed that expressed an interest in being a part of Button Mash. So if any of that comes off in any way, shape or form at all... What? How are you supposed to get that heart? You can't fit in the locker? That's no fair. Also, I didn't know you could bust open the lockers for hearts. That's a new thing. So yeah, if there's any way we can get devs to sort of exhibit at our event, that would be amazing! I can't imagine that coming off in any way, shape or form. That can't possibly be a thing that would happen, right? That's almost like too good. But man, would I love to see it happen. Again, no promises, but damn if we're not going to be trying to make it happen now. That's definitely something to work towards. So, hello guys. I'm gonna keep you at arm's length with a gun, a knockback gun. And you, shock dude. Don't want a lot of these bugs. There's gonna be a lot of these bugs later on, isn't there? So who else do we talk to? Okay, I'm not going to name who expressed an interest in working with us, because then it's almost like setting me up for fraud. I probably shouldn't have mentioned that Yam Yam did say that either, but I'm just too stoked about that. That's so cool that developers want to do things with us when we're nobody. It's awesome! So who else did we talk to? I talked to, what was her name? Mitu, I think it was. Mitu is a lady that's making red shirts, a game I heard about on Reddit a few weeks back, and I'm in love with already. That's an amazing game. As soon as I can get my mitts on a copy of that, I'm going to be doing a Let's Play of that. It's basically a game about social networking in the future, which is as weird as it sounds. Basically, you are, well, a red shirt, a nobody on board a spaceship, a sacrificial drone ready to be thrown away at a moment's notice in the name of furthering the glory of the captain and all that. See Star Trek, for example. And you are supposed to try and work your way up the ranks by schmoozing and negotiating and socializing, and the way you do this is through the ship's social networking service, which is called Spacebook. I am sold at Spacebook. Oh my god, that's such a hilarious concept. Spacebook, that's amazing. Having tried the game, it's really, really, really heavy on the sci-fi references. The way the characters' name generation, obviously it's in a social network, it populates it with loads and loads of characters for you to socialize with, and all the names of all the characters are just science fiction characters with some of the letters shifted around slightly. So, for example, the ones that jumped out really, really obviously to me were the Red Dwarf ones. So you look down the list and you'll see stuff like Dove Laster, I think was like one of them, and there was like Eriton and Arnold Romer and stuff like that. And there's stuff, any sci-fi series you can name, there's probably characters that are referencing them, and that's funny in its own right. It's all just sci-fi tropes and references, and it's hilarious from start to finish. It's brilliant. So I cannot wait to play that. What else have we got? Oh, Team 17 are representing some of the local guys. They are literally just down the road from us, really, in the grand scheme of things. They're, well, next town over, but they're really, really close. And they were showing off the new Worms game, which is, well, Do I have to explain this one to you? It's worms. So you probably shouldn't have to explain that one to you. You know how worms works. You play, surprisingly, a bunch of worms and you shoot missiles and grenades and donkeys and holy hand grenades and old ladies that explode and things at each other until one of you wins. It's very straightforward. There's still, after, what was it, Worms 4, I guess? No, it wasn't Worms 4. Worms 4 was a 3D one, wasn't it? Whatever the last Worms one was, they were big on the old water physics. They're still very big on the water physics. They're still really liking that, apparently. They're all really like it. I said, is this just a gimmick that you've really gotten into? And I'm like, no, I really think it really changes the gameplay and adds new dynamics. And it's like, it still feels, it sounds a little bit like sort of, sounds like you're a marketing department, but whatever, okay. It is Worms, it's fun, it's cool, yeah, great. And they had a guy in a giant Worms outfit that was like on wheels and stuff, and they were riding it around, and Danny's got a picture of that somewhere with him stood next to it. It's quite funny. And they're remaking some old game from, I think, like the Atari or something like that. I've never heard of it, but Suresh had heard of it, so he knows, and he was totally stoked to see this game remade. So at least, if nothing else, Team 17 aren't entirely working on Worms these days. They've actually got something slightly different in the pipeline, so good for them. Good for them. About time they did something slightly original. You know, very few franchises have kind of been going for as long as Worms has, and no ill respect to them, but it's getting a little bit stale from my perspective. I know they're doing a great job of it, and obviously if it wasn't selling they wouldn't keep making them, but there's only so many times you can awkwardly fire a bazooka into the wind before having it fly back and hit yourself in the face. You know. Because we've all done that. Everyone who does Worms does that. They're like, okay, I'll go for this trick shot where I fire it back over my head and hit the enemy, and it just goes into the air and back in your own face. You're like, ah, that's not the trick shot I had hoped to pull off. And then the AI pulls off the trick shot on every single move. But hey ho, that's Worms for you. It's the fun toys. Everyone likes the fun toys that about Worms. The Holy Hand Grenade, the Super Sheep, the Concrete Donkey, that kind of thing. They're cool. They're cool. So that could be fun. That could be worth checking out, certainly. Now, is there a way to get to the? Have I missed something here, or? Okay, well, it's just a right. Sort of a vaguely puzzly area, I guess. So what else was there beside Red Shirt, TingaMe, and Team 17? There was, let's see, there was Planetside II had a big booth. That game's been out a while, but I've never properly checked it out. It's the first time I've tried it, and looking at it, it's like this game feels almost entirely like Halo in terms of graphics and design and vehicles and stuff. They all look really Halo-like. At the same time, the gameplay kind of reminds me a lot of Battlefield, which I've said a few times I've sort of got a little bit of a soft spot for now, and that's kind of cool in its own right. So I might try playing some of that. It is a free-to-play game, so I might try getting into that as a game. That's kind of... Ow! Freaking scarabs! Go! Eat a Polaris! Jesus. Oh god, there's so many of them! They're all over the place. And turret up ahead. If ever there was a time to take a pill, take a chill pill, now would probably be it. Let's just sit out the shock with the shield up, because everyone keeps telling me that's what I should do. So yeah, Planetside 2, Battlefield meets Halo in an MMO setting, and I have played a little bit of the game now since I got back. I downloaded it straight away. I played like an hour or so of it. It took me a long time to even realise it's an MMO. I just got really stomped really hard at first. And I'm like, well, do we just have to keep throwing ourselves at the enemy over and over and over and over again? And that's getting really old really quickly. And it was best part of that hour before I realised, no, I don't. This is an MMO. I could go to another region and get stomped elsewhere is actually what I could do. No part of me is making me be throw myself over and over again at the base that we've just pretty much lost entirely. There's no reason for me to do this. So the MMO thing, that changes a lot as well, actually, in its own right. I'm really kind of interested as to how that might actually play out. So I'm going to have to give that one much more of a go. On the subject of MMOs, also Wildstar, which I first picked up on when Total Biscuit did his first impressions of it at... That would have been at PAX, actually. I never checked it out properly at PAX, but I saw TB do his first impressions of it. That looked mildly diverting when I saw TB's video. Having tried it, I really like that now. That's really quite a good game. I've no idea what the business model is going to be like yet. I'm kind of definitely hoping it'll be free to play. I can't, after the whole WoW thing era, whatever, bring myself to pay another subscription fee for a game. It's just ridiculous paying £10–15 a month to play a game. I don't think I'd want to go down that route again, but if it goes free to play, that's something I could see myself getting into quite reasonably. Shall we do one more floor? Let's rush another floor. Let's go quick! Rush another floor! So yeah, MMO wise, those two should be good ones to keep an eye out for. Well, one of them's out, one of them's another one to keep an eye out for. Wildstar, I did apply for the beta a while back, and I applied for essentially like a clan beta invite representing Button Mash as being the clan, and so I'm hoping at some point they'll dish out like 10 to 20 keys or something. I'll be able to go, hey everybody that I know, why don't you come play this new MMO with me, and we can film a guild and things. And I don't know that many people, so oh, I didn't check to see what I'm fighting. Always, never check to see what I'm fighting. It's a deconstruction zone, isn't it? I think it's a safe bet that it's gremlins. So yeah, hopefully at some point they'll dish out like 10 to 20 keys, and my clan will just be viewers, I guess. I'll just throw up like 20 keys in the comments and be like, yep, first come first served. If you watch my videos, grab yourself a key out of the comments, or description even, sorry, and yep, come join me in a Button Mash clan, and that'd be cool, right? Basically, stylistically, it looks a lot like WoW. The questing is a little bit more sort of natural, a bit more fluid, like how some of the newer WoW quests maybe work. Not instanced or phased as such, but just a little bit more natural rather than just the old talk to someone, kill 10 things, talk to them to turn it in, talk to someone, grind 15 things, talk to them to turn it in. The sort of stuff they'll activate as you go near it, and then there's stuff that sort of happens naturally in the world that only you can see. It's your own personal quests and things like that. That's kind of cool, and the combat is closer to Terra, so it's not just the standard exchanging blows stuff. It's more fluid. You can actually sort of dance around the enemy and get into a bit of a fight and trade hits and dodge their attacks, and they can dodge yours. And as you get like a cone on your screen that shows where the enemy's going to attack, and it's okay, so if you want to dodge their attack, you stand not in this cone. It's basically just like every WoW raid, don't stand in the fire, but which ironically enough is exactly what I'm doing right now. But it made for a good fight, 'cause at level 1, first time trying out the demo, right there and then, there was a massive big level 10 plus stompy enemy that's designed to be a huge tough raid boss, and I spent like 5 minutes dancing around it, just hitting it. I mean, I wasn't doing any damage to it, and it hit like a truck when it hit me, but because I could dodge its attacks, I could actually get into a bit of a scrap with it, and given enough time and patience, potentially come out victorious. I think maybe I need to do more damage to actually be able to damage it before that was viable, but it's certainly not beyond the realms of plausibility, I think, for someone much lower level than a boss to play the boss well and come out on top. Whereas in WoW, you know, you take on something much bigger than you, it goes stomp, you go splat, end of fight, you know. So that's kind of got me psyched. That's a cool mechanic. I like that. I like that a lot. Hi guys! Talking of wanting a fight, it's this crew. They want some Polaris, clearly. That's what they want. That's what they've come here to get. That's what they shall receive. Now I think these guys want an Acheron. Wham! Big shadowy wave right through your faces. Other games of note at Rezzed. There was Abbey Games, who made the game I have been reviewing and referring to and calling Reus. I asked their representative, whose name's pronunciation equally eludes me, about the pronunciation of Reus, and I'm told it's pronounced. I'm probably still going to butcher it, but it's closer to Groes or something. Groes? I think you might actually need to be Dutch to be able to pronounce it properly. Groes or something. Groes? Maybe. Oh, Groes. Oh. I'm just making horrible throat noises now, aren't I? Let's not make horrible throat noises. Either way, that was really cool to meet the guy who made, or one of the guys who made a game I've been really enjoying lately, and just talk to him about it. Since I actually properly approached him for a review copy, it was like the first game I've ever properly done like that. It's not just devs who are just dishing out keys or anything. This was actually, I wrote him an email and said, can I have a review copy? I think he was expecting me to be a little bit more of a professional actual media outlet. And we're like, oh, how come you haven't got any cameras with you? Aren't you writing things down here? Aren't you doing any media coverage? And we're like, well, no, not really. This is the most media coverage I'm really doing, and we put up some photos on the Facebook page. You can go check them out. So yeah, this is my media coverage. Not quite as professional as maybe he sort of envisioned Button Mash might be. They're like, oh, don't you have a blog? Don't you have a website? Don't you put up reviews and things on there? I'm like, well, technically, yes. Admittedly, we haven't done anything of the sort since last October, maybe? It's been a while. It's been a long time since we've actually done a review. It's something I would actually like to get back into doing. I did enjoy writing reviews for games, but making 5 videos a week and trying to organize this frigging Kickstarter and everything else, I just don't have the time right now. Maybe once this event's over, I'll get back into the writing game, and that'd be cool, but for now, I'd say no go, I think. So I think that covers most of the cool stuff at Rezzed. If there was anything more, it eludes me offhand. There are a few things showing off the Oculus Rift, but I feel like that's a bit of a gimmick, and that's a story for another day. Right now, we are at the terminal, and I've been talking for a little over half an hour, and it's time to wrap it up, I suspect. So, thank you very much for watching. Please remember to leave a like and subscribe if you're not already, if you haven't yet done so, or indeed if you have yet done so but haven't seen the updates, you can go check out our Kickstarter in the link below or in the outro in about 30 seconds time. So thank you once again for watching, it's been a pleasure to have you, and I shall see you next time.